Greetings, brothers and sisters. We want to do what we call part 2 to our belief and consciousness video that we did a few days ago, maybe a week or so ago. We were impressed to do this one to really string together 4 principles or 4 matters, if you will, that we thought needed to be expressed. Now, of course, in our last video, we discussed what belief is, or at least what belief is as it is most commonly used. Again, we said that what most people call belief is merely total acceptance. So what we want to do in this video is demonstrate total acceptance, or belief as most people commonly call it, true belief as we would have it, consciousness and knowledge. So again, total acceptance, true belief, consciousness and knowledge. So we're going to create a little situation here to hopefully make it crystal clear the distinction between these and how they can all run together. Let's say I'm out at the shopping mall. Okay, my best friend calls me and says, Osiris, they have signs up in your neighborhood saying they're going to be tearing down this block to build a strip mall. Okay, now listen to me carefully, brothers and sisters. Once again, total acceptance would be something like this. Oh no, I can't believe they tearing down my neighborhood, man. I gotta call you back. I'm so upset now. So I hang up the phone and I sit down and I sit there and I get filled up with grief, anger and frustration, because my friend just told me they have signs up on my block saying they're gonna tear down this neighborhood soon and put up a strip mall or what have you. So again, I am distraught about this. I'm cussing the wind. I'm critical of City Hall and the construction companies, corporations, everyone involved. I am just extremely upset. I'm livid about this. Now, this is very important because where I am now is total acceptance. I haven't taken one step to actually find out whether this is true or not, or reach knowledge about this. So as I sit there in total acceptance of what my friend told me, all I do is make matters worse for me. Again, my creative imagination is activated and all kind of thoughts are conjured in my mind about how terrible this is. Now, true belief, again, true belief is different from what we call belief, which is total acceptance. True belief motivates action. Again, true belief, as we would have it, motivates action. Okay, now, while I'm sitting there, and I'm distraught about this, I'm upset, I am livid. I can feel my heart palpitating, my blood pressure's probably rising and everything else. This is the state of condition that total acceptance has me in and has many people in. This is why we're stressing how critically important it is not to ever rely on total acceptance regarding things that you deem important to you. Now, true belief would have me go, okay, wait a minute. Let me find out. Let me call around. Let me check City Hall. Let me get in my car and drive there. Now, true belief happens the snap of a finger. It's the gun sounding in a race. Soon as you take that first step to investigate the matter, to obtain some facts about the matter, you have moved into consciousness. So what I might do while I'm in the shopping mall, I might go to my phone, go to Google on my phone or Yahoo or whatever, and type in some things to try to find out if there's any information about my area or my block particularly being torn down. Let's just say, for sake of example, I live on a 1200 block. Okay, so the moment I'm motivated from within to do something about it, to do some investigation, that's true belief. Again, that can happen in an instant. The information I acquire through researching my phone, or maybe I bump into somebody and ask them if they've heard anything about this. Maybe I try to go get a newspaper, so forth and so on. This allows me to build consciousness. Now, as I'm doing my research, I don't see anything that indicates to me that they're tearing down the 1200 block of, let's just say, Martin Luther King Drive. That's a very popular street or boulevard across the nation. So I stay on 1200 Martin Luther King Boulevard. Okay, I don't see anything. Now, I've built some consciousness about it because I've been doing some research. I've been doing some investigating. Again, I didn't just sit there allowing myself to get angry full of rage and animosity and everything else. I went from total acceptance. I calmed myself down and said, wait a minute. Let me do something. The moment, that instant I decided to do something about it, I moved from total acceptance to true belief, which means I have action has been motivated within me. This action allowed me to acquire some consciousness. I'm gathering some data. I'm not finding anything to indicate that what my best friend that I've known for 30 years, who I trust, who usually knows what he's talking about, is true. So what do I do finally so that I can reach conscious realization? Now, brothers and sisters, conscious realization is another term for knowledge. A higher term, if you will, a term with more validity or more potency, or really gets to the heart of the matter, if you will, is conscious realization. But for the sake of argument, we'll call it knowledge. Okay, now, how do I move from total acceptance, which is sitting there driving myself crazy about it, to true belief? Now I'm motivated to find out about it, to gathering data by researching Google or asking people in the mall if they've heard anything about it, so forth and so on, to knowledge. Well, you may already know the answer to it. The answer is pretty obvious. I simply get into my car. I drive to my neighborhood and I see if there are any signs up in my area that would indicate what my friend told me was true. Now, I get to my neighborhood, I get to my block rather, I don't see any signs. So I call them back. I say, man, I don't see any signs in my area. So yeah, I saw signs, man. I just drove by there an hour ago and I saw all kind of signs up, I saw all kind of things going on, and surveyors and everybody looking at the land, and I saw some people who looked like business people and so forth and so on. He says, well, you do stay on the 2200 block of Martin Luther King, right? I said, brother, no. I stay on the 1200 block of Martin Luther King, not the 2200 block of Martin Luther King. Oh, man, my bad. I thought you stayed on the 2200 block of Martin Luther King. No, you got that wrong. So I don't really have to play this out any further. You see what I mean? Now somebody's probably going to respond with some sarcasm, say, well, that's your best friend, he should know where you stay. Well, that's kind of besides the point. The central point we're getting at, if I had remained at total acceptance, what we call belief, total acceptance of what my friend said, I would have sat there driving myself crazy. Okay? But because I was motivated to action, which is true belief, I acquired some consciousness in through and by the data I'm gathering. Nothing is indicating what my friend says is true, but I trust him. I've known him 30 years. So I do what I need to do to acquire conscious or reach conscious realization, or acquire knowledge, if you will, about the situation. So again, I go there, I don't see signs, I call them back, let them know I don't see what you're talking about. We rectify the matter by when he tells me that it's the 2200 block. So just as an addendum, I actually drive 10 blocks to the 2200 blocks, and behold, yes, he is correct. It's the 2200 block that they're tearing down and building the strip mall in, not the 1200 block. I'm gonna add one more little thing here. This is kind of ad lib. I didn't mean to include this, but my master teacher also taught that we're here to rectify the past in the present to improve the future. Let me say that one more time. We're here to rectify the past in the present to improve the future. And the way that applies to this situation, what my friend told me was an error. That's the past. That was rectified now by my research, okay? And most importantly, when I went to my block and didn't see any signs. So we've rectified what was done in the past, in the present. Now I don't have to worry about stressing myself out, being angry, upset, and causing all sort of harm to myself, perhaps even others. Again, this was a little impromptu, so forgive me if it doesn't flow that smoothly as the rest of my videos. But since we were out here doing other videos, we thought we'd do this again. Again, this is part 2 of belief and consciousness. Total acceptance, true belief, consciousness and knowledge, or conscious realization. Thank you. Love and harmony, Brother Osiris.